Welcome to standing sequence 1, where we are going to look at keeping all of the hips square. So in sequencing, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in sequencing, but it's really important, in my opinion, to sequence square hips together and open hips together. I'm going to show you an example, and the next asana lab, standing sequence 2, is going to be focused on open hips. So if you think about warrior 1, where both hips are facing forward, this is what I mean by square hips. The back foot is at a 45-degree angle and both of the hips are facing forward, as opposed to something like warrior 2. And this is where the hips are open. So I want you to experience this in your body and know the difference between open hips and square hips. So find your hip bones and then make like headlights or warrior lasers with your fingers. With square hips, this is what you will see. You know, we have square hips when we're standing in Tadasana. With open hips, this is what you will see. So the hips are not square, they're not pointing in the same direction. So I'm going to bring this up several times so that you can remember square hips versus open hips. As mentioned, we're not going to set up that foundation and then just go into warrior 2 because it's a completely different foundation. So I want you to think about this. In warrior 1, in square hips and the postures that we're looking at, the distance, the length of the step is a lot shorter than what we're going to do in warrior 2 or open hips. All right, you can take a longer stance, but it's important to get this, to get your balance and your alignment correct before you start trying to make the pose harder. All right, so now we're going to sequence closed hips or square hips together. So you could go from lunge to warrior 1. And that's fine, and you can go from warrior 1 to lunge, but notice that there's still a difference of foundation here. In warrior 1, or the next few poses that we're going to look at, you actually don't need to move your feet around. So you create a stable foundation, and then you keep this foundation with you.